Our sponsor, Exter Wallets, is currently having its anniversary sale, offering 30% off everything site-wide. But with my custom link and discount code, you can get an extra 10% off for up to 40% off everything site-wide. With other slim wallets, in order to get the cards out, you have to take out all the cards, select the card you want, and put it back in. Not with Exter Wallets. I do not know how they do it. The cards don't fall out. The other thing I love about the Exter wallet is this tracker card that they offer. I like to keep it right there in the cash strap. Thin as a credit card, allows you to find your wallet anytime, anywhere using the Find My app on your iPhone. I keep the cards I use most often in here, but if you have others you want to carry with you, you've got extra space here. You've got extra space here. I absolutely love it. This is their Parliament model and my favorite color, classic brown, but check out the website. They've got tons of different designs, tons of different colors. And remember, use my custom link and my discount code SPTV to get up to 40% off. All right. Welcome back, everyone, for a little more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, I absolutely love it when my Scientology world and my favorite YouTube channels collide. That happened yesterday with one of the channels I've been watching for years and years and years, a very large channel called SunnyV2. They have over 4 million subscribers. This channel is run by a guy from Australia named Lachlan Windross, and he's got a very unique style to his videos. Yesterday, he did a video about Scientology and Aaron Kyro and how Scientology basically destroyed Braille skateboarding. You can see in just one day, this video has over 1.1 million views. And I figured, you know what? Let's take a look at it. I've got some timestamps queued up. We're not going to watch the entire video, but the video itself is pretty short. We are, and I'll provide some additional commentary on thoughts on some of the stuff Lachlan mentions in this video. And let's see, I've already got this queued up to the 53-second mark, and let's just get right into it. Let's make sure the sound is good. Here we go.
Braille made tutorials on every possible trick, giving the channel purpose and an obvious direction to help everyone learn how to skateboard.
The whole purpose of Braille skateboarding to teach you guys to progress on your boards so you're having more fun on your boards.
These videos carried the channel to over 200,000 subscribers, but as Aaron Kyro became more known, so did another completely unrelated video. I am a Scientologist, Aaron Skateboarder.
Guys, look how old that video is. 15 years ago. I actually did not know that Aaron Kyro had been in Scientology for quite that long. And also, by the time Scientology's cutting a promo video like this with him, he'd been in Scientology for years by that point, is my guess. In just a minute, we're going to look at the list of his Scientology service completions, and we'll take a look at what the earliest date of those completions is.
My name is Aaron. I'm a skateboarder, and I'm also a Scientologist.
During a vulnerable period in Aaron's life, Scientology offered him a free personality test.
And on my personality test, my communication was really low. And then they suggested you should do a communication course.
Aaron took the course and saw significant improvement.
And it totally helped me communicate. It helped me a lot. And from that point forward, I just had this ability to communicate. It helped me a lot.
Getting him hooked on the Church of Scientology.
So then I did more courses from there and learned more. And
he'd argue it helped him improve his skateboarding.
The thing that happened before Scientology and after was I was learning tricks a lot easier. Things were just coming to me a lot easier with less effort.
And that Scientology gave him his career.
And now I built an entire career on communicating.
Yet all of his success could have easily been explained by simple repetition, practice, and week-on-week improvement.
Oh my God. Guys, I've mentioned before kind of the overlap between Scientology and Scientology marketing strategy and multi-level marketing strategy, like MLM, where on MLM, when if you're signed up with one of those companies, people who are in MLM make the real money from recruiting other people to join their MLM business as a distributor. And they do it by working on their story. Everyone in MLM has their story. Before I was taking these protein shakes, I was a total loser who, couldn't hold down a job. And then I started taking Herbalife protein shakes and my entire life turned around. That's basically how Scientologists describe absolutely anything. Like any Scientologist, when they finish a Scientology course, will tell you, before this course, my life was X. After this course, everything is totally different. The idea that that anything in Scientology is going to help you learn skateboarding tricks faster is insane, even to a former Scientologist, or maybe even to a current Scientologist, I should say. Let's listen to that one more time. It just really cracked me up.
Was
Prove his skateboarding.
the thing that happened before Scientology and after was I was learning tricks a lot easier. Things were just coming to me a lot easier with less effort.
And that Scientology gave him his career.
And now I built an entire career on communicating.
Yet all of his success could have easily been explained by simple repetition, practice, and week-on-week improvement.
It's just such a funny, simple observation that, yeah, over time with repetition, you're gonna get better and better and better at the thing that you keep doing and doing and doing. The fact that you also at the same time happen to be doing Scientology does not mean Scientology is the reason you're getting better at skateboarding or even getting better at doing videos for that matter. Okay, the next section of the video we're going to skip over. They talk about Aaron hiring another skateboarder who happened to be a Scientologist named Lance Silber. Now, I've never heard of Lance Silber. He's not a prominent guy in Scientology. I've just never heard of him. But it did remind me that there was another pro skateboarder who joined Scientology and married second generation Scientologist Juliette Lewis. And that's a guy by the name of Steve Barra. I think Steve Barra is a very high profile name in the world of skateboarding. I'm not sure how well liked he is. And of course, probably one of the most famous skateboarders who became a Scientologist was Jason Lee. Jason Lee was enough of a Scientologist to be approved to be in a movie with Tom Cruise. What was that? No, it wasn't Magnolia. It was what was the one where they like lived in this dream world? I gotta look it up. Tom Cruise, Jason Lee, Vanilla Sky. Yes, Vanilla Sky was the movie. Many of you may not know, will be happy to know, Jason Lee is officially out of Scientology, not a Scientologist, has publicly departed Scientology, has said in his interviews that he is no longer a Scientologist. And even though he has committed the ultimate crime of publicly departing Scientology, he is still allowed to associate with some other Scientologists who he'd known for a long time, such as Ethan Suplee, for example. They did a whole promo tour for a project together recently. Okay, so let's jump forward to the 4-minute 58-second mark. And this is when they start talking about all that juicy, juicy money Aaron Kyro gave to Scientology, one of the things that eventually destroyed his skateboarding company, which ran out of money, partially because Aaron was siphoning so much of the damn money to Scientology. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Money went. Between 2015 and 2017, Aaron Kyro did 16 Scientology courses, many of which were incredibly expensive.
Okay, so right here, we are going to quickly jump over to the actual list of his courses completed. Remember, guys, this is not a comprehensive list. This is just the list of services that appear in various Scientology magazines. When it says here publication, it says Source 203, Source 204, Source 205. The Source magazine is the magazine for Clearwater, Florida, for the Flag Land Base, the big Scientology organization in Clearwater, Florida. The Free Winds here, that is the magazine, obviously, for Scientology ship the Free Winds. You'll see the Advanced magazine. That is the magazine for the Advanced organization in Los Angeles, where they deliver the upper confidential OT levels or operating Thetan levels. And it says here that some of his earliest courses were done in 2009. Okay, so that is, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that is 15 years ago. Wow. So they had this guy do a promo video pretty early on in his Scientology experience, which is interesting. And also, I want to point out, this will come up soon. Aaron was, well, you know what? I'll bring it up when we actually get there. So let's just go back to the video. Here we go.
The L10 Scientology courses, many of which were incredibly expensive. The L10 Rundown, for example, has an estimated cost of roughly $72,000, and this doesn't include the L11 and L12, both of which Aaron completed at the same time. Additionally, Aaron completed something called
L10, L11, and L12 together are easily over $150,000.
OT3, which according to Reddit, the running tally to complete OT3 would be $278,000. This ignores that he eventually went up to OT6, presumably costing even more, yet
so here's what's interesting, and of course I wouldn't expect someone on YouTube who doesn't already understand Scientology to understand this. The reason it says he only finished OT6 and it doesn't say OT7 is because OT6 is not actually an OT level per se. OT6 is just the course, the training course that you do to teach you how to audit yourself on OT7. So that's why you'll see someone finish OT6 and they don't finish anything else for years, because OT7 takes anywhere from 2 to 10 years of auditing yourself every single day of your life, 6 times a day, telepathically, counseling, like telepathically talking to, counseling the sick alien souls that L. Ron Hubbard says are attached, stuck to your body. And that is what OT7 is. And OT6 teaches you how to do it. So yes, OT3, but by the way, that figure, I think they said it would cost you to get up to OT3, maybe $282,000. That's an interesting figure, because that figure is an estimate of all of the Scientology that you do to get up to OT3. Believe it or not, OT3 itself is actually pretty cheap, Scientologically speaking. It's like $10,000, $15,000 at the most. But I'll tell you what is extremely, disgustingly expensive. OT5 is unbelievably expensive as well. OT5 itself can cost at least $50,000. OT4 is probably closer to $15,000 to $20,000, but it is expensive.
Aaron believed that all of this was worth it. An article on his training wrote, L10 was a particularly revelatory experience for him. The gains and abilities are so high, I could not even dream they would be available. My space is so big and so clean, and my flows are wide open. I got rid of masses that had been in my space for trillions of years.
Yes, folks, it does say trillions of years. It is so funny to see Scientology lingo just casually shared on such a broad platform. It kind of like brings into focus how crazy it is, like what a unique language L. Ron Hubbard has created for Scientologists. And it sounds so funny to hear these words coming out of the mouth of a non-Scientologist. But yes, it's not a typo. He did say trillions of years. And that is because, as you guys already know, because you watch this channel, Scientologists believe that we are spiritual beings who've been around for about 76 trillion years, and we live lifetime after lifetime, except we're currently trapped on this prison planet called Earth, and we're trapped in these bodies. And when this body dies, you just jump into a new baby body and you live another lifetime, except you don't remember your previous lifetimes, because when your body dies, you're pre-programmed to report to the Between Lives implant station that's located on the far side of the moon or Mars or Venus or something like that. And the implant station is run by the alien psychiatrists that are basically the prison wardens for Earth, the prison planet. And so that's why Scientology is here, because only through Scientology can you become spiritually aware enough to skip the Between Lives implant station and jump into a new body with full and total recall of your previous life. But of course, that was only due to Scientology. And luckily, that means you can recall all your Scientology training. That means you retain all of the gains from your Scientology auditing, and you can come back your next lifetime just ready to hit the ground running, getting everyone else on planet Earth up to Scientology's highest levels, so that collectively, as beings on this planet, we can overthrow the evil alien psychiatrists that are keeping us trapped on this planet. Very, very much like the Matrix movie, except instead of robots imprisoning the human population for energy, it is the evil alien psychiatrists that are imprisoning the population just to keep us here, because we're the troublemakers of the Galactic Confederacy. This is what Scientologists actually believe, folks. Don't blame me.
years. I truly uncovered my basic goodness and rightness as a being. He's still having daily cognitions directly related to L10, and his online traction has seen a noticeable uptick, which to be fair was certainly true. The channel was gaining so many views, and all of the members were having so much fun, that the massive amounts being spent on Scientology simply weren't a major concern. They'd continue to ride different exotic skateboards and allow the audience to send in their own, resulting in some of the channel's highest viewed videos. The Lego skateboard gained 8 million views, the heaviest skateboards gained 11 million, whilst the glass board with glass wheels gained 28 million views.
Wow.
But the trend of wacky skateboards was slowly getting stale. Viewers knew what to expect in every single upload, and after over 200 episodes, each variation was becoming less interesting. To make matters worse, at around the same time, Lance announced that he'd be leaving, which added to the channel's slow viewership decline. In Dumb Data's video about Braille, it's shown that from 2016 to 2019, Braille's views fell by...
See, they talk about from 2016 to 2019, the views fell by half, but obviously you can see that 2016 was an outlier, right? And that from what the hell happened in 2016? But from 2015 to 17 to 18, you actually still had a slight increase, and things didn't really fall off until 2020, the way I look at it.
Almost 60%, at which point things began to get weird. At this point, Aaron's involvement in Scientology wasn't super mainstream until an article was published titled "The Donors Keeping Scientology Afloat in 2019."
See, now that's interesting, right? That was 5.5 years ago that Aaron Kyro was outed as a major Scientology donor. And it's probably around that time, like I was getting emails for a few years asking me to do videos about Aaron Kyro, but I'm like, I've never heard of the guy. Like, I don't know who he is. I was never in the skateboarding world, and even in the world of Scientology, Aaron Kyro just wasn't a big deal. Yes, he got an award for donating $1 million. There's a lot of Scientologists who've donated $1 million or more dollars. That doesn't necessarily make you a big deal. But I thought it was just in preparing for this video and watching SunnyV2's video, I was surprised that it was literally almost 6 years ago that this was first reported on the Underground Bunker blog.
With Aaron Kyro titled "In Scientology Wasn't Super Mainstream" until an article was published titled "The Donors Keeping Scientology Afloat in 2019," with Aaron Kyro being pictured at the top. It explained that he'd earned what's called gold meritorious, given to people who donated more than $1 million to Scientology.
Now, this is what I really wanted to explain. So this, let me turn the volume off on this for a second. This gold meritorious, donating $1 million. The story of Aaron Kyro and all the money from the company that they dumped into Scientology is much, much bigger than that $1 million, because the award for gold meritorious is only for donating to the IAS, the International Association of Scientologists. That is Scientology's membership organization. That is, Scientologists consider the IAS, sometimes you'll hear them call it Scientology's war chest. If you asked a Scientologist, what exactly does the IAS do? They'd probably say, oh, the IAS funds planetary dissemination projects. They would probably tell you the IAS pays for Scientology's Super Bowl commercials. They would probably tell you the IAS buys and renovates some of the most important properties in Scientology, like the Oregon, New York City, or San Francisco, or Madrid. By the way, the IAS only paid for the Madrid org because Tom Cruise was dating Penelope Cruz at that time, and Penelope Cruz's family lived in Madrid, and Tom wanted to have a nice org to bring Penelope's family into. But in reality, the IAS doesn't do anything but raise and sit on hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. My point is this: that $1 million is just to the IAS. All of the money Aaron Kyro paid for Scientology auditing and courses is completely in addition to that $1 million. There's also all sorts of other little Scientology fundraising schemes, like the Ideal Organization Project that we won't even get into for this thing, that has nothing to do with the IAS and has nothing to do with paying for Scientology auditing and courses. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time Aaron was given the Gold Meritorious Award, if he had actually spent closer to $2 million in total on Scientology. Okay. let's
into
keep going.
Scientology. On a podcast, Aaron tried to play this down.
Don't you need to give the church a certain amount of money each year?
Okay, this is why I kind of love all the editing that SunnyV2 does. He's actually juxtaposing this interview that we're about to watch here or see a clip from was like literally 6 months ago. Right. And yet the award that Aaron got was 6 years ago. One of the interesting questions to Aaron might be, by the time Braille was going out of business, going bankrupt, going broke, and Aaron was going to beg for $200,000 on YouTube of donations to Braille, an interesting question would have been, 6 years ago, you got an award for having donated a cumulative amount of $1 million to the IAS. How much more money have you donated to the IAS over the past 6 years? I bet the answer would have been a hell of a lot of money. All right, let's
Here
to play this down, who donated more than $1 million to Scientology. On a podcast, Aaron tried to play this down.
don't you need to give the church a certain amount of money each year to be a part, or
No,
you don't have to give them any money?
no. Courses cost a fee. So the communication
shit.
course that I did was $100, and the books are like range from $25 to like $30.
But his extensive
Oh, hell no. We're not going to let him get away with that. Let's break this down. Now, by the way, one of the pieces of fun that I had in the video that I did about Aaron Kyro was explaining that by the time he did this interview right here, what we're looking at right here, Aaron Kyro was already the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. He was the executive director of the San Francisco Day organization. And here he is honestly acting like he's still a public Scientologist. And by the way, what you're looking at here is a 41-year-old grown-ass man. And as I was watching this clip, I could not help but be reminded of Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock and his very meme-worthy appearance as an undercover police officer at a high school. It looked a little something like this.
I was part of a special task force of very young-looking cops who infiltrated high schools. How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Steve Buscemi right there might as well be Aaron Kyro. How do you do, fellow kids? I'm a teenager like you. I'm not the leader of Scientology in San Francisco or anything like that. Okay, so let's take another look here at what lies have been detected here in what Aaron said about giving money to Scientology. Now, the first thing is see, he's being cute because of how the question was asked. Do you have to give Scientology a certain amount of money each year? Well, the answer to that is no, because there is no tithing in Scientology. The reason there's no tithing in Scientology is because 10% are rookie numbers, bro. You need to up your game, bro. Where's my Grant Cardone hat? It's too far away right now. Like the Mormon Church, for example, I think you're supposed to tithe 10%. Guys, Scientologists usually give more than 100% of their income to Scientology. Scientologists go deeply, deeply into debt in order to give money to Scientology. Scientology would go broke if there was a tithing system, because that would be a huge step down from the percentage of a Scientologist's income that they normally donate. So let's take a step back and start with how the question was asked.
And the books
Each year to
tried to play this down.
don't you need to give the church a certain amount of money each year to be a part, or
no.
See, technically that's true.
you don't have to give them any money?
See, but you do have to give them money, just not per year. You have to give them money for every little thing that you do.
No. Courses cost a fee. So the
See, that's true. Courses do cost a fee, but here's where the lie comes.
communication course that I did was $100.
What he should have said is the communication course that I did 15 years ago when I got into Scientology was $100, because that's what they call an introductory course, the Success Through Communication course, and it is more than $100. But the regular communication course that you do in Scientology, the professional TR's course, is $2,500. But Aaron Kyro's not going to tell you that. He's not going to tell you that, because that's not what a Scientologist is supposed to say when they're asked about the money factor in Scientology. All right, what else does he say?
And the books are like, this cost a fee. So the communication course that I did was $100. And the books are like range from $25 to like $30.
But so yeah, that's true. Yeah, a book costs about $25 to $30. Yeah, the book. But when you do a course, you buy the book and then you pay for the course. And also, he's still only talking about introductory courses. You're not even considered a Scientologist when you're doing introductory courses. And yet the person answering this question is literally the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. And he's just pretending like, bro, I only ever spend $100 on courses. Come on. Come on, kids.
But his extensive involvement was documented everywhere. He'd appear in yet another Scientology promo video, for which he was heavily roasted in the comments beneath. But negative audience feedback didn't change his feelings.
Somebody says something bad about that, so I'm just going to stop. Like, no way.
And to be honest,
No way, kids. I think one of the things that I said in the last video, well, the main video, there's a video I did on this that got a ton of views. Is that if I were a staff member of Scientology, if I was one of the staff members in San Francisco, and our executive director was a guy who's pretty much a celebrity, and I saw, and we're all supposed to be working our guts out to get people into Scientology and to expand the organization, to get more public in, to recruit the public to become staff. And I saw our executive director on this podcast acting like he's still a public Scientologist and not actually being upfront and forthright about how dedicated he is to Scientology and why it's important to be a Scientologist, why he's prioritized Scientology over his skateboarding company. I would have felt really betrayed. It seems like Aaron Kyro has made missteps every step of the way on this. And I'm going to highlight some more examples of that as we carry on here.
Again at this point, his involvement in Scientology.
No way.
And to be honest, again at this point, his involvement in Scientology wasn't really hurting anyone. However, this was about to change. In January 2020, Braille uploaded a video titled "I Need Help," requesting that viewers donate to him to save his hometown skate park.
Anything that you guys can give would be incredible. We're trying to raise $200,000. Anything that you can give would be so amazing.
This led to videos such as Aaron Kyro gives Scientology $750,000, but begs fans for donation.
And that's being polite, because by this point, Aaron Kyro had probably given closer to $1.5 million to Scientology.
Whilst people on Reddit wrote, maybe just funnel the massive donations made to Scientology rather than using your viewer base of children to recreate your park. Comments read, did he have this much money when they had Carlos sleeping in the warehouse like a homeless person, leading people to make a realization? I heard that most of the profits of Braille go to donations to Scientology instead of to the skaters that make it what it is. The skaters were running all the brand deals whilst barely being paid.
It's like, you want us to be the face saying, hey, buy this product, do this thing. And then like we gain nothing from the brand deal. Like, we have sponsors of our own as well. We have sponsors that conflict with this brand deal that you're going to try to make us go and do on our own. And we are getting nothing but our normal low wage.
And even built ramps for the channel without compensation.
They asked me to build it, and I built it the day of from scratch, and they didn't even drop a penny.
Imagine working for someone, carrying the channel for $20 an hour. Then you hear that your boss donated $1 million to Scientology.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help but be reminded when you hear of the skateboarding company and the channel making tons and tons and tons of money, and the people who are making that possible being paid peanuts. That's how it works in Scientology. And now it doesn't seem like Aaron ever tried to turn Braille skateboarding into one of these Scientology companies that runs on Scientology policy and statistics and conditions formulas and all that kind of stuff. But it certainly seems like he tried to implement Scientology style finance policy, whether the people who worked there knew it or not. I mean, they asked one of the guys in the video who had been doing most of the work how many raises he had gotten while working there, and the guy said over 10 years, one raise. I was like, wow. It does show you, though, that the people who were working for the channel and working at Braille were doing it because of how much they loved it, and that Aaron Kyro was basically taking advantage of that, which honestly is exactly what Scientology does to its workers. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit in the video to the point where the staff basically talk about what happened when Aaron Kyro, they didn't know that this is what he was doing at the time, when Aaron Kyro joined staff at San Francisco and was sent to Clearwater, Florida to train under David Miscavige to be the leader for Scientology in San Francisco. Let's see how it went down.
Did, as in 2021, Aaron came to the team with another wild announcement.
He goes, in 1 week from now, I'm going to business school for 5 months and I'll be back. And then we're like, whoa, like what the?
As a result, Gabe became responsible for running Braille completely, as Aaron disappeared to focus on business school.
2 months passed. No one has talked to Aaron at all. It's not like he's on the phone going, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, the videos have been good. Like, oh, you're doing really good. Nothing. It was just silence, like legit, like silence.
This disappearance lasted longer than expected.
See, these guys, it's so crazy to me. Like any Scientology staff member going to Flag for training. Flag is the name of the big Scientology organization in Clearwater, Florida, where Aaron Kyro went. Anyone who's been on one of those training programs know you basically disappear into a black hole. You're not allowed to use the phone. There are no phones. There's no phones in the motel rooms where you live. There's no phones in the course rooms. There's no phones in the atrium where you get to hang out at break time. There's no damn phones. I mean, when I was at Flag, and this was a long time ago, there was pay phones in the Fort Harrison Hotel across from the reception desk. And you could, if you had a phone card, one of those pay phone cards, use the pay phone. I'm guessing those phones aren't even there anymore. The idea that they would take Aaron, a guy who was a celebrity and who had a company, and allow him to disappear into this black hole and not even communicate with his employees, not even communicate with the people who are running the show, just shows you how absolutely clueless and out of touch with reality people are in the Scientology bubble, to think that you can just do that and it's gonna be okay. Well, as you're gonna see, it was not okay.
The 5 months, it ends up being like, I want to say like 8 or 9 months. Then he goes away again. He's like, oh, I got to go back. I didn't finish. It was not long. And then he was gone for again, like, I want to say like 4 or 5 months, maybe even more. Then he come back for like 1 week or something. Then he was gone again. And I want to say the total time was about like 2 years, I think.
After 2 whole years of barely being on the channel, Aaron returned with a video titled I'm Sorry, initially acknowledging his disappearance.
I've been absent from the videos. I know you guys know that. I'm back. We're getting back on track.
Before again claiming to be learning about business.
I did take some time for myself, and I did learn as much as I could about business.
Aaron Kyro, I think the IRS would like to have a chat with you. Aaron Kyro goes off to 2 years to train on Scientology courses, and he's calling it basically going to business school. I thought it was supposed to be scripture. I thought you were studying religious scripture, Aaron Kyro, not business school. Now, of course, a Scientologist understands that, you know, calling Scientology policy scripture is really just wink, wink, a little trick we're playing on the courts and the IRS and all that kind of stuff. But it's crazy to see him actually try. See, again, it's one of these things. Like I said, if I was a Scientology staff member in San Francisco and I saw our executive director sort of downplaying, soft selling, distancing himself from what his real role in Scientology is, I'd be offended. I got to tell you, a Scientologist seeing Aaron Kyro, a celebrity, trying to basically use a euphemism for what he did in Scientology, being like, I learned about business. Again, it's actually offensive. And it is interesting that Aaron's allowed to describe it that way, because another Scientologist might actually get in trouble for trying to describe it that way.
However, conveniently upon his return, another video was gaining some traction. Aaron Kyro is the new leader of Scientology in San Francisco.
Whose video is that?
Aaron had joined Scientology's executive team, as the time he'd supposedly spent in business school was actually him just completing more Scientology coursework. This, in combination with his absence, put immense pressure on everyone else at Braille.
And I'm sorry for being gone for so long. I know it's really hard on my team here.
So much so that they all began to quit.
He emerged as the leader of Scientology SF. In that time, this guy started quitting. Mowgli, Uzi, JD. And then when Gabe was the final straw.
As mentioned, this included Gabe, who at this point was completely running everything.
For the past 7 years, I've been doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff for the main Braille YouTube channel.
Comments read, well, there goes the guy that's been carrying this channel for years.
Honestly, Gabe was running the channel. Gabe was doing like literally 99.9% of the channel.
Forcing Aaron to take back over, who by this point seemed to be completely clueless.
Now we no longer have Gabe to plan, film, and make all those videos. The content is definitely going to be changing. And what you're gonna get, I actually have no idea. But it's gonna go back to the roots of this company, teaching tutorials. Yes, we're gonna make weird boards, weird videos.
This was far from an innovative strategy.
Guys, how about the irony of Aaron Kyro taking 2 years off to go full-time study Scientology's business school, and the result is that his business got destroyed. Like, and then I guess Scientology's courses in how to boom and expand and flourish and prosper your business didn't exactly work out for Aaron Kyro. Imagine destroying your business so that you could go learn how to run a business. Like, it's unbelievable. The guy had built up a hugely successful business and then destroyed it so that he could go learn how Scientologists run business. Now, the thing is, Scientology's business strategies not only completely destroyed Aaron Kyro's business, they haven't actually been that successful for Scientology either. There is one of the Scientology protesters, live streaming protesters out there, is someone whose channel is called Club Brain Fog. And in many of all of her videos are outside the San Francisco org where Aaron Kyro works. And the thing is, the org is an absolute ghost town. And honestly, no one ever comes in or out of this place, except sometimes Aaron Kyro is spotted. Now, one of the funniest things that happened on this channel is Club Brain Fog seemed to actually capture Aaron Kyro sleeping in his car at the curb in front of the org. It turns out it wasn't actually Aaron Kyro. It's just another staff member who looked an awful lot like him. But that's how successful the Scientology org is in San Francisco, guys. They're overworked, they're underpaid, they don't sleep, and sometimes they have to go out to the car to take a little nap, usually during their lunch break. Okay, a little bit more to go here in the video, and then we'll wrap it up.
With the lack of fresh skilled content being obvious to all.
You look at the videos now, you look at the thumbnails now, you look at the ideas now. Terrible, right? On Braille's channel. Much worse than when we and Gabe were doing it. And that truly shows how much work we were doing.
This dropped the channel's views to just a couple mil per month, forcing Aaron to destroy their skate park.
I was trying to negotiate with the landlords to get a break on the rent. This is a huge overhead. It's tons of money to have a warehouse, and we just could not come to an agreement. And then I got a letter from their lawyer that basically just said, you have got to be out by July 5th.
Unsurprisingly, the audience offered no sympathy. That $750,000 you spent to go up in a spaceship to heaven could have been spent better, but in true Braille fashion, it was even worse than this. Ricky Glazer, one of the last remaining members, wasn't even told that the skate park was being destroyed.
You guys might remember I actually did an interview with Ricky Glazer on my channel right around the time that this was all happening.
I knew Braille was struggling, but man, I didn't know the park was literally getting destroyed right now. No one told Rick anything. And it's like, man, I really would have loved to know that, get one last sesh. Like, I poured all this blood, sweat, and tears literally into that place.
He was saddened by the sight of everything being discarded, which somehow offended Aaron to such an extent that Ricky was promptly fired.
Braille Skateboarding and Aaron Kyro both blocked me, Ricky Glazer, on Instagram.
Nigel decided to leave himself.
I will no longer be at Braille doing videos, won't be doing lessons with them anymore, obviously because there is no location.
Pissed off by Braille's blatant lack of care.
No goodbye session, no nothing.
10 years of your life.
I haven't even gotten like a thank you for all of the years of dedicating myself to the channel.
Aaron responded with a video of his own, claiming he tried to save the skate park.
You guys must know that I did everything I could to save the Braille house. I literally took out a loan on my house.
But with over 50,000 dislikes, it seems he missed the point completely. Aaron, no one is worried about the warehouse. They're worried about the crew you ghosted. Womp womp, you screwed the crew and that's who we cared about. He is legit more upset about what what he did to the building than what he did to all of the people that made it what it was.
Yeah.
Without a skate park or skate crew, the state of Braille is worse than ever. Aaron recently uploaded a video titled "Thank You," just reading positive comments from 1 year prior, seemingly to convince himself to keep uploading videos.
I continue going because of comments like this. I absolutely love this.
Braille's viewership has fallen to roughly 5K per upload. Every comment section is filled with negativity, which Aaron tries his hardest to defend himself against.
It seems like not only did Scientology's business practices fail Aaron, Kyro, and Braille, but so did Scientology's practices on just how to treat people in general. You know, like he seemed totally unable to recognize the fact that the outrage in the community wasn't because they lost a warehouse. It was because of how he screwed over and disregarded the people who had made the success of the company possible the whole time, especially the time when Aaron was off doing his special Scientology training under David Miscavige. Really remarkable. It shows, like, you know, Scientology policy, like the fact that Scientology and its quote unquote business practices and business policies destroyed Braille skateboarding, destroyed any goodwill that Aaron, Kyro, and his brand had, and has also honestly destroyed the San Francisco, Oregon Scientology as a whole. Is I don't know, maybe we should just call it instructive. Okay, let's look at some of the starred comments, and then this stream is going to redirect to the stream that Natalie Webster and Jenna Miscavige are currently doing on Natalie's channel. So we'll wrap this up quickly. Vegan3 says, gee, how convenient. Their first class is the communication course. Mrs. Bramlett Jr., they brainwashed Aaron Kyro too well, so much that he works for them and crashed his successful business. Stay Spiria, you mean there are no skateboarding TRs, Aaron? Well, now I'm disappointed. Xenu Golf Club, the communication course helps with disconnecting. Adam Carmona, Scientology is the definition of risky business. Vegan 3, Lance's brother is in the Sea Org. Wow. LA Media. Oh, Scientology Media Productions. Interesting. Susan Simon, what an incredible waste of time and money. Magnus G, OT7, cooking your brain just a little bit 6 times a day, every day. Dino Nuggets Legacy. Dudes, I read Dianetics and suddenly I could do backflips. Hannah from Canada. Literally, his skateboarding content was to target children. My son is 11. Stay Spiria. Why would he do the "did I do that" pose in that photo with the award? OMG, cringe. Soon. Did an ex-Scientologist ever sue for money back because they felt scammed? Yes. I mean, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think one of the biggest cases was Larry Wollersheim. And he was awarded tens of millions of dollars. In fact, it was the Larry Wollersheim case, if I recall correctly, that was one of the sparks, one of the reasons that David Miscavige created the IAS, created the war chest, because the Larry Wollersheim case would have bankrupted Scientology. But they had the award over or lessened on appeal, and then they didn't pay the judgment for like 30 years. Yeah, I think that was the inspiration to create the IAS, to create this legal war chest so that Scientology would have a little more security when it comes to potentially losing civil lawsuits. Back to reality. Aaron refused to give his employees a living wage. A CO Bilf, shout out to Club Rainfog for exposing Aaron Kyro's dirty vehicle outside the San Francisco org on the regular. Soon in Germany, we would say, Haarspalterei, Haarspalterei, splitting hairs. Alt Atleen Xenu, ATL, Atleen Xenu. Kyro is such a snake, man. I cannot respect a man whose own employees don't respect him. Soon, I remember one of the workers who was in the chat at your stream, Aaron. That's right. That was Ricky Glazer, and we did an interview. Magnus G, Aaron Kyro is out of valence, out of money, and out of his mind. Soon says Aaron made a video about Aaronception. And Marisa, super random, but a Redditor named Chance posted in the Scientology subreddit yesterday, thanking you, Aaron, among Steve among Steve and the Aftermath Foundation for helping him. Wanted to share that with you. Oh, okay, good. I'll check that out. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Like I said, for the live viewing audience, this is going to redirect to Natalie and Jenna. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.